Baritones and trombones. Let me hear you guys, please. Baritones and trombones. First note, 1, 2, ready, and. Next note. Should be first valve, Aiden. Yeah, first valve. Next note, this is the flat. Second. Next note. Good. Next note. Third, 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 third. There it is. This is a flat note. Second. Next note. 1 and 2. 1 and 2, Aiden. Fourth, 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 fourth. Second. Second. Yeah. So those last 3 notes, trombones, those last 3 notes, you got the second for the top note, 1 and 2 for the one below that, and then what's below that? Second again, right? Yeah. Make sure you get those notes in there. All right? Right? You good, Brendan? You're good? Okay. Good. Your face was just like, I think. I know, it's a tricky scale. It's a tricky scale. I understand. I'm challenging you all. Everybody's back in. Quarter notes. Everybody's back in. Quarter notes. It's getting better every day. 1 and 2. Quarter notes. Everybody. 2 and ready. Here we go. Thanks, Brooks. So 1, 2, 3, when you're doing the minor. That's the third note that makes it minor right here. That note right there. Okay, good. Thanks, Brooks, for looking at that with him. Let's do it all-state pattern with the arpeggio. 1 and 2. All-state pattern with the arpeggio. 1 and 2. Ready and play. Practice on piccolo, but play it out. Don't be like all down in here. I know it's a small instrument, but you gotta open up your shoulders, because if you don't, the lungs don't breathe. Okay, so open your shoulders up. Open your shoulders up. Good, good, good. It's getting better. I know it's not perfect today. It will be by Friday. We'll review it again tomorrow. We'll review it again on next day. You'll be fine. Okay? I guess we'll review it again on Thursday and then practice before the test on Friday. All right, good. Moving on. The harmonic minor, only one note's different. Quarter notes. 1 and 2. Quarter notes, harmonic minor. 1 and 2. Let's go, saxes. And feet into the ground. Push the feet into the ground. Sitting up front half of our chair. 1 and 2. Quarter notes, minor, natural. No. Harmonic! So now you go first, second, or 3-2, 3-2. First, second, tubas, baritones, 3-2, trombones for those last 2 notes. Do it again. 1 and 2. Do it again. 1 and 2. Ready and Tubas, play the last 2 notes. Tubas, play the last 2 notes. First, C, ready, go. Good. Just make sure those last 2 notes. That's the only different for the harmonic. Just those 2 notes. Everything else is the same. Everything else is the same. All-state pattern, 1 and 2. All-state pattern, 1 and 2. Ready and go. So those 2 minors are going to be a little bit more challenging. Those 2 minors, you're going to spend most of your time on those than you're on scale pattern 1, scale pattern 2, scale pattern 3, right? Good. Scale pattern 1. Back to the majors. Back to the majors. Here we go. Scale pattern 1. The third net's now normal. Third net's normal. Just play the first 3 notes. Scale pattern 1, just to review. 1, 2, first 3 notes, and. Good. Good. So now that third note makes it happy, makes it major. Now remember, that applies to your homework. You got your homework, Music Theory 5. Music Theory 5 homework. That's tonight. So you're listening for that major-minor correlation. So now you're hearing it, you're practicing it, so make sure you do that online tonight. Practice that tonight. Here we go. Pattern 1. Let's do it with the metronome. Quarter notes, and 1, and 2, quarter notes, and 1, and 2, and ready, here we go. Yeah, and you can play either octave. Trumpets, that's fine. Playing the upper octave, that's fine. You can do either one. Either one's fine. Again, a little faster. 1. Gradually getting faster, getting those fingers under the fingers. 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and ready. Quarters. Little faster. Brooks, thanks for helping Andrew as much as you can on that. Appreciate that. 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and again, and 2, ready, and go. Yep, I know it's getting repetitive. Don't lose your good posture, clarinets. Make sure you're on the front half of your chair still looking good. Don't lose your good posture. Next one, pattern 2, quarter notes. Pattern 2, we're going to skip the eighth notes. Pattern 2, quarter notes. 1, and 2, pattern 2, quarter notes. 2, and ready, and play. Hold it up. What takes longer? For it to fall from here or for it to fall from here? The first one takes longer to fall from here than it does to fall from here, right? Why is that? Why is that, Alex?
Because you're higher.
Huh?
Because you're higher.
Because I'm higher. And the further away you are, the longer it takes, right? That's physics, that's science, right? There's some whole D equals RT kind of thing going on, all right? Yeah, but for us, what that means, especially in my woodwind sections, for all y'all playing your clarinets or your saxophones, and your fingers are like, ba, 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 and your fingers are like, you're like waving at the people next to you, hey, how's it going? All right? When you're doing that, it takes longer for your fingers to get to your keys. Keep them right above them. Keep them right above them. And we've talked about this before. Keep them right above them. But sometimes when you learn new things, you tend to exaggerate a little bit, right? So keep them relaxed. Keep them relaxed. All right? And just hover them over there. Don't try to go so far. You're actually making it harder for yourself when you're trying to go further, right? Don't make it harder for yourself. It's already hard enough, right? Don't make it harder for yourself. Quarter notes. Pattern 2, quarter notes. And 1, and 2, pattern 2, quarter notes, and 2 feet, and 1, and 2, pattern 2, here you go. And a little faster, pattern 2. 2, and 1, and 2, and ready, and play. how you're challenging yourself, trumpets. Good for you. Good for you. Sounds good. Sounds good. Pattern 3, scale in thirds, scale in thirds. Do quarter notes, please. Quarter notes, let's do one at a time. This gets a little tricky. Scale in thirds. 1, 2, scale in thirds. Pattern 3, everybody's up. Here we go. 1 and 2 with me, one at a time. Just do that first measure quarter notes. 1 and 2, first measure quarter notes. Good. Remember, the brain doesn't like big things. The brain likes little things, okay? When you get panicked and you start freaking out and you got lost, you didn't really get lost, but your brain kind of spazzed out on you, right? So you got to take things slow when it's new. Don't worry about trying to go too fast right now. Just learn it slow, and then eventually, the more and more you do it, you learn it. The more and more you do it, you learn it. Pattern, second measure. Second measure, ready? Right on the second measure with me, one note at a time. 1 and 2, second measure, one at a time. You got to get up there. You got to get up there all the way to those high notes. Do it again. Whole thing in thirds. 1 and 2. Let's do the whole thing. And beginning. Let's do the metronome. 1 and 2 quarter notes. Beginning 2. Ready and go. And I've told you the story, about the tricky fourth note, right? Watching the kindergarten teacher, and they talk about the tricky why at the end of the word Monday. It's there. You don't say it because it's tricky. That fourth note. Don't forget it. That tricky fourth note. Don't forget the tricky fourth note here. All right? And when you do it in the thirds, that's when you tend to miss it. Don't miss that fourth note, okay? A tricky fourth note. Don't miss that fourth note. All right, do it again. A little faster. And 2. Here we go, saxes. 1 and 2. Come on, Felipe, get that instrument up. I know you can't play if it's not in your mouth. That's an instrumental ventriloquism. 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 quarter notes. Here we go. When you're practicing at home, speed it up little bit by little bit. Speed it up little bit by little bit. Trick your brain into not even realizing you're going faster. Trick your brain. I'm not going faster. No, it's your imagination. Right? Here we go. A little faster. 1 and 2 and again and 2. Ready and go. Interval steady, quarter notes, 1 and 2, intervals, quarter notes, and 2, ready and go. Yep, little faster. 2 and 1 and 2, ready and play. quietly transition over to Peregrine, please. Quietly, let's transition over to Peregrine. So you're listening to me as you're doing this. So new music, just got a chance to look at it. Just got a chance to look at it a little bit yesterday, right? A little bit yesterday, new music. Remember our goals for this week, we're really looking at the beginning to 29. Beginning to 29. But remember, for your judges, for MPAs, and for a good sound in general, this is our judges sheet right here. This is our judges sheet. You can see the three main categories: performance fundamentals, technical preparation, and musical effects. Basically, performance fundamentals, how well can you play your instrument? Do you have good tone quality? Are you in tune, balance, blend? Are you articulating correctly? So, can you play your instrument? Technical preparation, I heard that. Note accuracy, precision, rhythms, entrances, releases, technique, clarity of the articulation, observing our dynamics, time and rhythm. This is how well do you play the piece. How well do you play your music? How well do you play your instrument? How well do you play your music? Both super important, right? But when you do these two well, now this is the important one. Musical effect. How can we affect our audience? Not just playing notes on a page, but how do you, as a human being, how do you emotionally connect to somebody else? How can we do that? That's our job. We've got to be the storytellers. That's the great part about playing music, about making music, is affecting people. Affecting people. The expression, the phrasing, the dynamics, the emotional impact. There's never a doubt that that's always going to give me right in time. The emotional impact. So, you're always listening, all right, for those types of things. You're always listening for those types of things, all right? So I want you to listen to a little bit of Peregrine. We played a little bit yesterday. I want you to listen to the beginning. Here's the beginning of Peregrine. So there's kind of the beginning of it. That's kind of the beginning of it, okay? So I want you to think about that. You heard it, you listened to it. I want you to think about the title. Title, Peregrine, A Traveler's Tale. Peregrine, A Traveler's Tale. What's the composer trying to get across? What does he want us to understand about this piece? Aiden, what do you think?
A story about a traveler who's traveling.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's obviously a traveler. It's a story, a tale. So we're trying to tell the story. So what does it tell us musically? What does it tell us musically? Felipe?
This is the montage scene.
The montage scene? It's like the beginning?
Yeah, where they start traveling and all the slideshows start.
I gotcha, yeah. That's a cool idea. Okay, that's what you see in your head. I like that. Alex? More grand. Why does it sound grand? Open land? Yeah, I agree. It's almost like the beginning is kind of like the hope of our travels. You know, it's like, here's what we're going to get, right? We're going to have this amazing time. It's really, really grand. And do you hear how how when the trumpets come in at measure 15, how it's just really, really strong like that? That's kind of what I hear too. Carlina?
I hear the storm music.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of sounds like it, doesn't it? It's very programmatic. A couple more. Alex?
It's like really loud at the beginning because it's like when they arrive or leave.
It's really loud at the beginning?
Yeah.
Well, it kind of crescendos into it. Yeah. Ryan, last one.
It makes me think of those things in movies where it's just a map and then it shows where the people are traveling.
It's like this way, and then like this way, and like this way. Yeah, I kind of hear that too. So maybe that's what the author's trying to get across here. Maybe that's what the author's trying to get across here as this beginning. So let's just play the beginning a little bit. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. What's the style? What's the style? Is it legato? Is it staccato? Is it triumphant? What style are we listening for? What do you hear, Troy? Triumphant style, especially when the trumpets come in. What about the beginning? What about the beginning? What do you think, Carter?
Like slowish?
It's not necessarily slow. I almost feel like suspense, like anticipation. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Okay, that's kind of what I'm hearing here. Okay, good, let's try it. Here's the beginning. Remember all this. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this, and then we're also going to go to Cedar Valley today. Here we go, ready? Yeah. For Cedar Valley, I'll look for it. Ready? And you need it too? You need Peregrine. I'll get yours. Here we go, ready? Beginning. Bump. D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. That's you, tubas. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Beginning. 2, 3. B B B B. Good. Kind of suspenseful here. That's low brass. 3, 4, 1. Here comes clarinets. Ready. Beep, bum, beep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grow 2. Ready. Beep, 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 beep. And stop right there. And there we're going in. That's right where we need to be stopping today, right around 29 or this week, okay? So a couple of wrong notes, obviously, we're still trying to get. But did you feel that anticipation? And it kind of builded and built, and it builded more and more and more. And then we get to that part, crescendo, poco, a poco, 15, trumpets. Let me hear it, trumpets. And it's horns, too. D, 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 D. Let me hear those two measures, trumpets and horns. 1. It's fortissimo. Blow with fortissimo air, please. 1 and 2. Fortissimo. Ready? Yeah. Good, good, good. I love your effort, your attempt. Okay. Now we're going to refine it a little bit. Okay. And we're listening within our balance of our section. Who's louder, first, seconds, or thirds? Thirds, louder than seconds, louder than firsts, right? So make sure I hear the thirds and the seconds and the first. So maybe back off just a little bit first, not jazz band. 1, 2, oh, I know. Here we go. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Do it again. 2, breathe. Yeah, and who is most important out of all of these? The French horns, right? Remember, we got to hear the horns over the trumpets. We got to hear the horns over the trumpets. So who's playing first? First, and you're playing second, Alex? First, second. Okay, I get it. Good. First and second. Let me hear the second horn. C, 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 B flat, C. Second horn. 1 and 2, and ready, and go. Make sure you're on the right partial. Do it again. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, the B flat's right next to the C, right? Good. Do it again. 1 and 2. Last time. 2, go. Yes, muchos better. Here we go. Add in the first horn. 1. Oop, major. 1 and 2. French horns. 2, 3. Better, and really make that move through it so it does sound triumphant. Keep that air moving all the way through the end of that phrase. Okay, add the trumpets in, please. Add the trumpets in, please. 1, 2, 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3. Good, and then first when you have those eighth notes, dee da dee dee, you can play that out. You can play those eighth notes out because everybody else has half notes, right? Good, good, good. And then the echo to that is in our flutes and our clarinet ones. 1 and the first trumpet. 1 and 2 and 4. 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's play that, please. Right there on measure 17. First clarinets, flutes, oboes, piccolo, and first trumpet. 1 and 2 17, 2, ready and play. 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop there. Measure 20 looks familiar. What does measure 20 look like? A B flat scale, but it's in the key of F, right? So instead of playing an E flat, what is it, flutes? E natural. Clarinets, is it F natural or F sharp? F sharp. So make sure you get that. It's like a B flat scale, but it's in the key of F. Very good way of describing it, Chris. Okay? So we're looking for those. I'll get it later. We're looking for those notes. Do it again. Measure 17. Those same people. 1. Trumpets, just play that first part with us. 1 and 2. 17. Fortissimo. Ergo. Dee da da dee da da. Beep ba ba ba. And 1 and 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and already better. Already better. Okay? Low brass. Low brass. I see fortissimo F concert. Yes! It's a loud note that we can play with good sound. F, F. I'm going to measure 17 pickups. Can I hear that, please? F, F. Tenors, berries, play it with us. Bum, bum. Right there, 16 to 17. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Yes, and again, 1 and 2 and again, 2. Oof. Tubas. I've waited all my life for a tuba section like you four. Okay? Now, all right, lungs of steel. Let's back it down just a hair, and I swear I've said that maybe twice in my entire career. Okay? Back it down just a little bit. Take the edge off, tuba. Do it again. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2. So they go dee 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 bum 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 bim bum bum bim bum bum. Little question answer thing going on here. Here we go. Let's do it. 15. Everybody's in? Everybody's in 15. Percussion, nice job keeping time, getting those suspended cymbal rolls, making sure all of those snare things are all in time. Good job. 15. Good job sight reading. 1, 2, 15. 1 and 2, 15 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. And it's almost like, at this point, it's like I can't wait to see what Peregrine has in store for him. I can't wait to see what happens next. I can't wait to see where his travels are going to take him. It's like the expectation of that travel time, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Okay? Good. I want to flip it up a little bit. Go to Cedar Valley. Now, as you're silently going to Cedar Valley, same thing. I want to play something for you here. And just like you would do in a language arts class, or maybe even, dare I say it, a right score or FSA, oh my goodness, dare I say it, I want you to compare the two. So although it's not written literature, it's music literature, all right? But I want you to look at Cedar Valley. Yeah, it probably got cut off the top. Sorry, clarinets. My bad. Listen, here we go. So what can you tell me about the style? Cole.
Okay, again, it's ran kind of that adventure thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one had the suspense at the beginning, this one kind of jumps right in.
I agree. It jumps right in with that. Carlina. It's marcato. So stylistically, It's totally different. Remember the beginning of the other one. D, 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 legato style, so it's completely different style. Marcato's separated. Da, dun, 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 dun. Totally different style. Gabe.
There's like two voices because it's like da, 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 da.
And then it echoes. Bum, 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 bum. Right. I hear that. I hear that little echoing voice right away. Okay? Michael.
Kind of like what she said, like, yeah, like this one, like, Peregrine, it has like
Yeah, exactly. I see the other way they work together. This one's like an exact echo. Exactly. Alex? Rhythmic. It's very rhythmic, okay? Good. Let's play. Let's play. So it's kind of similar in some ways. Still exciting. Still pretty forte. Not so forte. But stylistically completely different, right? So the author has a completely different intent here. It's not going for that grand storytelling. All right? Totally different intent here. 1 and 2, beginning. Nice wind chimes. 1, 2, 1 and 2, and beginning, 2, 3. Bum, bum, bing, bum, bum. I almost feel like in the other one, we like anticipate to it. And this one starts right on, here we are, right? It starts right on it. Bum, 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 bum. Right? There's 4 of them. There's 4 of them. If you can't hear the flute and clarinet one, you're playing too loud. All right? There's 4 of them. So listen for all of them, all those little question-answer echoes that we talked about in that. So stylistically, let's bring it down a little bit. It's only mezzo forte at the beginning, okay? We don't want our articulations to be the exciting part. Let's let our articulations be more exciting than just our dynamics, right? We talked about this last year in jazz band a lot. Don't just play loud, but play with style. Play with style. So it's only mezzo forte. Back it down. Do it again. D, da, da, D, D. 1 and 2. And beginning, 2 and ready. Yeah. So, what measure does it go to forte? 6. So we've got to hear a noticeable difference there. And that's when everybody has 4, 1, a 2. Everybody has that. I don't have it yet. I have to make it. 1, a 2, 4, a 1 is the forte part. So everybody has that together. So that's where our forte section has to be. Okay? So wait for that. Wait for that to be forte. Okay? Dee, 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 dee. It's the articulations that make this one exciting. Not necessarily forte all the time. Do it again. If you have those quarter note, eighth note parts, bring them out. Bring them out. It's like altos, trumpets, French horns, low brass and tubas, altos, French horns, trumpets, flutes and clarinets here. Okay, so it just goes back and forth, right? It just goes back and forth. Let's hear it. Bring those out when you have them. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and ready and. Here it is, everybody! Everybody! Yeah, and it's almost like as soon as you get to the whole note, they start this march section, the low brass. Bum, 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 bum. They start the march section right there. Exactly. Yeah.